Hello everybody, it's Pat here. It's so lovely to see you, except I can't see you. But I thought I would like to read a story to you today, a short story. And it's from a new book that's out called The Book of Hopes. And it's online and it's free to everybody. And the editor is Catherine Rundell. And she has asked authors and poets and people who you might know well to contribute to this book, to write a story or a poem especially to do with the rather strange times we're living in, to make us think about hope and about all the good things in life. And I thought I'd start today with a Michael Morpurgo story. Lots of you will know that I love Michael Morpurgo, and I hope you enjoy the story. And if you do, I'll try to read some more if you'd like me to. Before I start though, Catherine Rundell dedicates this book to everybody who works in a hospital. Not just doctors and nurses, important though they are, but the porters, the carers, the people who cook the meals, the cleaners, the people who deliver to the hospital, the ambulance drivers, the paramedics. Because she says, you are the stuff that heroic tales are made of. So this story today by Michael Morpurgo is called A Song of Gladness, and he's writing as himself. And as you won't be surprised to know, the story is full of animals. I've been talking every morning to Blackbird, telling him why we're all so sad at the moment. He sits on his branch and listens. It was Blackbird's idea. He sang out this morning at dawn from his treetop in the garden to Fox, who was half asleep behind the garden shed. She thought it was a good idea too. It was a wake-up call. Fox was on her feet at once, and trotting through the woods where she barked to deer, they ran across the stream to Kingfisher, who was there. Otter and Dipper were there as well. They heard it and they piped on the message. And Swallow swooped down over the meadow and passed it on to the cows who were waiting to go to be milked, and passed it on to sheep who were resting quietly under the hedge. The lambs were there too, in the corner, in a dew-damp field. And they all agreed, bleating it out to the bees who were already busy at their flowers, to weaving spiders and to grasshoppers and to scurrying mice. Trees heard the sheep calling too, the whole flock of them, and they waved their budding leaves in wild enthusiasm. And high above, the clouds wandered through the skies, driven by wind. And the wind took Blackbird's idea over the cliffs, across the heaving seas, where gulls and albatross cried it out. And whales and dolphins and porpoises heard it too, and wailed and whooped it down into the deep, where turtles listened, and they too loved the idea. So did plankton, and every fish and crab and sea urchin and whelk. They all whispered that it was a very fine notion, the best they'd ever heard. And the whisper went over the sea, on the curling waves to the shore of Africa, where lions roared their approval, and elephants trumpeted it, and leopards yawned it. Water buffalo belched it, wild dogs yelped it. Wildebeest murmured it out across the savannah, and the storm lifted the idea up over rainforests, where rain took the idea and poured it down upon the gorillas in the mist, upon chimpanzees in their sleeping nests. Howler monkeys and gibbons echoed their calls, loud over all the earth, all that are loud. And then, from far up high, Sun heard it too, and shone it down over the deserts, where Oryx stamped her foot, impatient to be getting on with it and doing it. She loved the idea that much. Even Camel, who rarely joined in anything, thought that this was the best and the most beautiful idea he had ever heard. Back in the garden now, Blackbird had waited till everyone was ready, and then he began to sing. And the whole carnival of animals, every living thing on this good earth joined in, until the globe echoed with the joy of it. and Blackbird was very pleased. But I was still lost in sadness, as I heard the earth singing around me. It was a song of forgiveness. I knew that. So I asked Blackbird if I could join in, and he sang his answer back to me. "Why do you think we are doing this, you silly man? We want you and yours to be happy again. Only then will you treat us and the world right again, as you know you should. Only then will all be well. Sing, you silly man, sing, sing. Our song is your song, and your song is our song." So I sang, we all sang. We sang away our sadness. In every house and flat and cottage we clapped and we sang. In every hut and in every tent, in every palace and hospital and prison. And they heard, and we heard our song of gladness echoing all together in glorious harmony across the universe. I hope you enjoyed that story.